We're back. We're so back. Sort of. Look, we're gonna talk about these trades here. But let's go over the Excel. These are the two trades, 12 and 13. I only took some on the aggressive, not on the 100k funding, because it wasn't probable. But it was high probable. It wasn't with high probability. It wasn't a high probable trade. It was just more so a middle or a mid probability that it'd work out. But nonetheless, I took two and I ended up losing. It's okay. Should I have only took one? Yes, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna see why I took two. Okay. So, and then yes, I did end up at around -8%, a little over -8% for today, and that's okay. I mean, we're risking a lot of. Well, I lost the one, so like I risked like 3% with this one, and then about 5% with the second position. So, I mean, it makes sense. We're gonna go over why the trades that I took were taken, and it was on EU, and it was today in New York session. So, PST time, it's 5 a.m. That's when it starts. So it would be right around here. And let's see where exactly I took them, because I just kind of leave these on right here. Okay, so I took them exactly right here at 5. I had my alarm, and I did have a conviction of 3966, 3966, 3966. Okay, that's the first one. And then the second one's gonna be at 708, 708, 708. Okay. And I lost that one here, and I lost this one here. This was kind of like my zone. So we're playing within this zone. This is a big demand zone here. This whole little box. This was technically like my protected low, but it wasn't convicting because, you know, if you think about it, look at price action. It comes up here, right? And then it makes a low, and then it just starts ranging. It just starts ranging, and it pushes up finally, but it doesn't sweep liquidity above this resting high here, or the liquidity resting above this high. It just hovers above it, makes some sort of like double top, if you want to call it that, and then, you know, rejecting also 2 times, 1 time here and 2 times here off that 4,000 level. And now we're moving lower, and then we did break substructure. We did end up breaking substructure here. So let's go on the 1 hour. And where did we break substructure? Well, let me just move this, and we broke substructure here. We broke it here. So we break it down to the downside, and now the thing is that for me, this is just setting up resting liquidity. The fact that it didn't take liquidity up here, to me, that's just resting liquidity now that's ready to be taken if it does make an up move. And I am anticipating an up move only because we did do a momentary daily shift order flow switch on the daily. So let's look at that. The way that the daily closed, I really liked it. We get this very nice big impulsive move off the 3,000 level, coming down all the way closer to the 2,000, but within this range, 2 to 3,000 range of price. And we're getting a very strong reaction from it, okay? Very impulsive. But keep in mind this. Keep in mind that higher time frame. Let's go on the 4 hour. We're in a break, high, low, break, high, low. And what do we expect? We expect this to be our pullback range. This whole range here, which it is in this range here. But if you go to a higher time frame, and even higher time frame, let's just do the 8. 12 is fine. Let me see the daily. Yeah. If we go to the daily, it's even more clear, okay? Look, and we want to be careful taking sells here, or anticipating sells here. I'm anticipating longs, to be honest. I'm not anticipating sells. I'm anticipating longs because we look higher time frame. We're here. We made a high, and then we swept that high here. We made the high here, and then we finally broke this low here after this candle closure. So yes, technically we are in the extreme, or in the, what do you want to call it? Yeah, the extreme, or above the 50% of the pullback range, and we are reacting to it. But this reaction is just a mere reaction. You have to include the context of where we're at on the higher time frame, and on the higher time frame we're on the lower end of the leg. And I'm not saying it can't sell even further. I'm just saying there's been a momentary order flow switch to the upside, and you want to be wary of sells. Just considering where price is at, we are on the lower end of the leg on the higher time frame, and the upper hand of the leg on the lower time frame here. This leg here, boom. We're in the pullback range and we're in the extreme of it. The extreme of the higher time frame would be anything in here. And technically we are in the lower part of it, but you want anything above, let's say, just have 50% of it, which would be around there, right? We kind of wanted to get up here before taking or thinking of taking sell positions. And obviously we're on an order flow switch within this POI here,
so many choices
to then take it further
so many Tina Feys I could be.
further down.
Family Tina at a Miami
And
villa.
that's what we're waiting for once we get up here. So we are anticipating to get up there within this range here, the extreme leg or the 50% level of this pullback range here from this low to this high. That's what I call the pullback range, but 50% of it would be there, and that's what we're anticipating. That's a narrative. That's higher time frame / middle to lower time frame narrative. Okay, so we know higher time frame we're on the lower leg, and middle time frame we're in the extreme of the leg. We're above already the 50% of the pullback of this leg here. Let me just mark it out because boom, boom, boom. Between this leg, yes, we broke structure between breaking this low. So now we're in this extreme level, taking liquidity from this resting high here. Taking liquidity from this resting high. Or let me just put internal range. And okay, you have to ask yourself, is this going to be liquidity that's swept? That's just it's gonna sweep, right? And we are in the extreme of this pullback range. So is it going to be one that sweeps, reacts, and then continues to print bearish price action, meaning breaking structure or taking the sell side liquidity that's down here below this low? Or is it just a mere reaction? So it sweeps liquidity, reacts to it, and then now it's just formulating, or what I know as like a cloud of liquidity within, meaning substructure, basically substructure within this leg here. And is it gonna mess around to then go take prices higher? This is what I'm thinking. And I do think momentarily we've switched order flow to the upside, according to some confluences that I will not go over, but that is my analysis, and that is what I anticipate for the future. And I still think that's going to play out. It's just I try to get in early in a move, and it wasn't ready to move up today. So I'm going to talk about now the trades. I see now, and what's weird is this, is that we get this formulating very bullish price action here, and then now it ranges here. It's just ranging, right? It reacts to this unmitigated OB, and now it's just ranging, and then it pushes up. This is interesting. Price pushes up, but doesn't sweep liquidity above here. It does not sweep liquidity. This move down here, this reaction, is because of the sweep of here. Okay? Sweep of orders, sweep of liquidity, whatever you want to call it. The point is that it reacted based off of that. And now it's giving us this rangy price action. Boom, it tries to push up, and it's not ready to push up. It's not ready to push up further, and that's what I was anticipating. I was anticipating it to push up past to grab this sell side liquidity. So this downside here, this down move, and part of the New York session, that was me thinking that, okay, this might be the pullback, small pullback, to then take it up even higher. So
ordinary is
that's exactly what I was thinking. I also had this as a like my range here that I'm wanting to play with. So I was anticipating after news at 7 o'clock that price would just, rip up. I think it was like PMI news that came out, but it's fine. It didn't. It reacted twice off this 4,000 level. It reacted 4 times, so it rejected it once and it rejected it twice. But considering higher time frame narrative, I do think that we are, and my confluence of the daily order flow switch, then that's enough for me to start looking for longs. It could be that it then switches to sell side, to the downside, and like it does an order flow switch to go short. It could do that as well, but right now the bias is just going long, and we're just gonna wait for tomorrow's session to like anticipate a move and see what price is doing. So I mean, I do see this unmitigated OB here. Do I think it'll get there? No, it doesn't have to, but I see it, right? And most importantly, I'm looking at the pullback range. What is my pullback range? My pullback range is going to be this, really, from this high that it made and this low. And this would be the little momentary order flow switch that it made. And now we're just anticipating for it to get to that pullback range, find your entry model, and then take it to the upside. So I did get in early. I thought it was just going to rip up to then eventually not only just take this outside liquidity that's right here at this high, but more importantly, or more specific, this one. So there's outside liquidity there, so I'll probably be targeting there. I'll be targeting there. So, and if I catch the move and I'm correct about this analysis, you know, we could do good with this one. And I just need to be right on one. I just need to be right on one. And I could cover these two as well, even though I lost these two, and that's okay. But check this out. So I ended up entering here. Yeah, at New York at 5 o'clock. There's one at 5 o'clock, and then I ended up getting stopped out here, which is fine. But this was my whole range. This was kind of like my last resort, that it shouldn't pass this, and if it does, well, it does. This was me kind of just wanting that little tight RR, that little tight stop loss to get a bit of R to kind of reconcile, targeting this high and sell side liquidity up here. So it would have been pretty good there, and it just didn't. So I thought, okay, well, it might just pull back deeper, whatever. But I should have anticipated it was just going to grab the sell side liquidity there, and this wasn't even a strong low because there was nothing that broke it. You know, this low was it's just there, nothing. Now, if price broke above this high, and then made this sort of price action to the downside, that's okay to take one that's deeper. But so technically, these two, because it didn't break this high, technically, then these two are a bit on the lower end of the probability scale. But I still ended up entering something, and that's okay. That if I lost it, you know, I'm realizing now what I could have done, how I could have seen it. For sure, I got to spend more time on just analyzing. Lately, I haven't been analyzing at all. Like, I just been going at it with the charts, and really just I wake up and then I analyze. But because I know what I'm looking for, but you know, I think I gotta lock in. Because I gotta come back from these two, and I mean, let the edge play out. I'm sure I will be right about this move. I do feel confident with this buy side analysis that I have for this week, for it to target this sell side liquidity and then this one. So we're gonna see what happens, but I'm confident, and you know, I'm just gonna stick to the plan, and we're going to see what happens tomorrow in New York session. So 2 down, it's all right. We'll come back. We'll be back, and stay tuned because we will be back, and I will show it. Okay, I'm fully transparent here in this channel. I'll show you my losses, my wins, and everything. It's just been slow, and also that brings me back to another point. I'm going to be back making a new system, not new system, but I'm going to be, because this one's more of a swing style, and the rules that I have for it are very specific, and I want to see if I can have the same rules. I have to test the time frames because and the confluences themselves. Like, I have to really backtest this a lot. That's what I'm going to be doing this weekend probably. Well, this weekend I'm busy, but I'm going to make time. Because I really do want a system where I'm trading more frequently, and if I can have an edge on the lower time frames and I can find it based off, you know, the strategy that I have, that's more slower. It's more like swing style. But if I can make it work, you know, intraday, not where I'm trading every day, but where it's more consistent, more frequent in trades and in taking positions and taking advantage of intraday movements more swiftly, then, you know, that's something that I'm going to be looking into and for sure developing within this year and within this beginning of this year. So I'm just going to backtest and gather some data up and see what I can find and what I can make work. So that's it for me. I know it's a bit longer video today, but I'm gonna probably speed it up. So if you hear me talking super fast, then you'll know why. But that's it for this video. Catch you guys tomorrow. God bless always. Take care.